Hey, I just want to talk to you about one of the most powerful features of Google Classroom, and that is a way to quickly and easily give feedback to students. I love using Google Classroom. My students, they are not great at checking email as a whole, but even those that don't check email, when I send a message to Google Classroom, they're getting those messages and they're responding to them. So I think this is a really great tool to use with students of all ages. So here I am in my class, and I had classwork that I assigned. So I'm going to click on the classwork tab, and I wanted them to do this paint pot tutorial. So I'm going to click on the assignment to see, and so I get to see from the instructions page, I can see the student work. I can click back and forth between these tabs so I can remind myself what I asked them to do in case I don't remember. But one of the things I want to point out is, first of all, it tells you if people turned things in late or if they were on time. So these were both late. These other ones, you can see it says that the files are missing, but you can see that there is something attached to this student's. So what happened is this student turned something in, but they didn't click the turn in button. So right now it's sorting by status, and I can change that sort to go by last name. So that way I see all of my students all in a row. And then I could decide to send messages to them or to return their work to them. So for example, this student and this student turned them in. I've already checked them and I know they did a great job with it, so they're going to get the full points for it. I could type a private comment to them if I wanted right there, but also when I click this return button, this is going to also give me the option to give them a private comment, so I can type a message to them right now. So I have this message. I'm going to return the work to the two students, and I've typed this message. Both of them are going to get it. But you can imagine if you have a class of 25 students, then this would be really easy if you had a large majority of your class do it one way. You can sort of reuse the feedback, but it still feels personalized to the student. So I'm going to hit the return button, and so those two students are going to get that message. And I have up here, just so you can see what it looks like. So if the student goes in and he views the assignment, there we go. So there's like a little slight lag. So there's a private comment, so the student can see that comment and then they can reply back to me. So that feels really good to the student. They're getting that personalized message. I didn't have to type it on everyone. You can see what a huge time saver this would be. Okay, so now I have this student here, and his is not like the other students. So he has, I'm going to close out. So right here, I just have to close out of that one student so I can see just this student. And so now I can click on Mod and I can give him sort of the same information. So, but I'm going to maybe change it. So I can maybe take this part. I can copy. Let's see. I'm going to go back in, and there's a few different ways to do this, but I'm going to copy this part from the other student. I'm going to close this out, and I am going to go into this student. I'm going to type the comment here, and I am just going to add a little bit more information. I'm going to say you forgot to turn it in, and I can personalize this just to him because he's the only one getting it. So maybe I want to give them the positive stuff first. So now I'm going to say, like, the only problem is that you forgot to. And so some teachers are, it's more important to them that the students turn in their work. Sometimes, most of the time, I don't really care because I can see it as long as they attach it. So I don't really mind either way, but it depends on the class. I can also look, if I wanted a kid to finish something by a certain date, I can look at the history and I can tell if they've gone past the time that they were supposed to. So for me, I don't mind, but some teachers feel really strongly that the kids need to turn in the work. And it gets a little bit awkward because it says missing there. But I'm going to show you that you can still grade it. So I'm just going to pause while I type the rest of the message. So now I have sent a response to Mott. So he has the same message primarily as everybody else, but I've added in that he forgot to turn in his work, and don't forget, made a mistake there. Don't forget to click the turn in button after you attach your file. So that's the different addition that I didn't have before. Since they put his name up there, I'll probably hit enter so there's the even space. And so now this file is ready to go back to him. All right, so now his post is ready to go. I just click the airplane and the post has gone to him. And now I just need to give him a grade because he actually did do the work. So I'm going to give him the point for that. And then I need to return this to him. So notice the return button is grayed out until I click away. Once it has a grade saved, then I'm able to click that return button. And it reminds me that he hasn't done the assignment yet. Am I sure that I want to return it? And I do, because he actually did do the assignment. And here, I'm not going to put a private comment here because I already told him exactly what I wanted to tell him in the other private comment. So when he looks in at his comments, or when he looks in at his submission, he's going to see what it is that I said to him. So here I am in Mott's account, and you can see that right underneath the submission, he can see exactly what I said to him, so he can see that. Also, he can see his grade up here, and if he looks at his emails, he's going to see that his tutorial was graded and that he has a comment. So he's going to get those in two separate messages because that's how I did it. I sent the comment first, and then I sent him the grade. So now let's look back. And we have these couple of students that didn't do their work at all. So I'm going to click on their names, just like we did before. I'm just going to close this window out. And I can't return. So again, see how that's grayed out? Because there's no grade in there. This is where I think it's really awesome to use Google Classroom in conjunction with our student management system, because I can send them the 0 first to the student and give the student the chance to get the work in, to remind them that they don't have it in, because a lot of times it's just that they're disorganized and they have forgotten to attach it and they've done the work. So this prevents their parents from getting mad at them first. It gives the student the chance to fix things before I need to get mom and dad involved. And some parents are on the email distribution, so they're going to see that anyway, but I just think it's a really nice way to get the students involved more quickly, and you'd be surprised at how quickly they respond. So I'm going to hit the return button, and again, it gives me the reminder that these are unsubmitted assignments, and so that's okay. I want to return it, and now I'm going to post a comment to them. So I like to follow just sort of standard guidelines when I reply to students. So the first thing I do is I just say what I notice. Like, your work's not there. There's no judgment there. It just isn't there. And I also remind them that zeros don't average well. It's not a judgment. Again, they really don't average well. I give them the opportunity of, if they need help, if they want to come to office hours, they can come. They can stop by. I give them some encouragement because I've never met a student that couldn't get it done. So I give them the encouragement. I tell them about the time frame. This is only going to take them 20 minutes. I remind them that this is actually a fun project, so they should want to do it, and that I'm here to help them if they want it. And I'm going to click that return button. And so now those students have gotten that message. So I hope that you see how easy it is to use Google Classroom to respond to your students. And now when kids turn in, since all of these have been returned, I'll get a notification in my email to say like, hey, so-and-so submitted this late assignment. And so it's helpful for me to have returned these so that way I can keep track of the students. So instead, I don't have to come in each day and like click on each assignment, because I'm going to be alerted when new assignments are posted, and then that will remind me to go in and check my submissions. So I think it's really handy. It's easy to give feedback, make it meaningful feedback without too much effort. So I divided, you could see I had 3 different types of messages I needed to send, and I was able to do so really quickly. So I hope that you're going to try this out. It's a really great way to involve your students, and you're going to see that you get a nice response rate, better than you would have if you didn't have this tool. Again, if you have any questions, please ask, and thanks for watching.